Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 18th episode of the College Chess Podcast. My name is Joe. I'm once again joined by my fellow college growth managers at chess.com, Max and Mauricio. And today's very special guest is actually our new manager, our new hire at chess.com, our director of field marketing and college growth, Stephen Fabrizi. Welcome. Tell us a bit about yourself. What got you here?
Thank you. Yeah, I've spent the last 5 years actually at Sacred Heart University, which is a small, well, not small anymore. They're blowing up quite a bit, but a university in Fairfield, Connecticut, which is where I'm from. I'm from Connecticut. Shout out New Haven. And I was the executive director of digital strategy there. So I was overseeing our web team, our social media team, and our digital marketing team. So I've been in like the marketing space for higher ed for quite some time. Before that, I was at a digital marketing agency, building websites, running ads, pretty much full suite digital marketing. Most of my clients were education or higher education. So very familiar with schools and marketing to schools. And I love chess, albeit not very good at it. So this was when I remember seeing the role being like, no way, this can't possibly be like a job that I could have. And now I'm here and the man doing it. So it's been pretty awesome.
Wow, that's a lot.
So
Okay. So, Connecticut, huh? You guys have good pizza, right?
New Haven has the best pizza in the world. It's
So,
undisputed. I will die on that hill.
I think our
The
last,
most
what, Mauricio?
that's the most important follow-up question after that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That's all that
that's all
matters.
I heard because I'm
That's all that
thinking,
matters.
I remember you were watching our last podcast episode with Maxime from Yale.
Yeah, shout out Firewoods. He's from
Um,
New Haven.
Yeah, and also I know that you have some experience with obviously like you said Sacred Heart, and you know Brent and their coach as well. Maybe gonna have them on another time, but yeah, I've never been to Connecticut, so or New Haven or any of those schools up there. I know Mauricio might be nearby, but I think we asked Maxime as well, like what the best pizza was, right?
Yeah, I think he called out Modern, which is one of my favorites as well. Sally's also gets like I think unfairly gets thrown into the conversation. I don't think their pizza's that great. Pepe's also is like one of like the best out there, but like kind of a little overplayed. Modern, it's like to me is like number one. And then like growing up around New Haven and New Haven pizza, like there's all these like little satellite spots too. Like there's West Haven, Connecticut, which is not far at all, obviously, and like they have some like great places too. Like there's sleeper pizza places out there. I think I was telling Max about it. It's like the equivalent of like going to Philly and like there's like the big touristy spot for like cheesesteaks. But then if you like ask someone who lives there, they're like, no, you got to check out this spot. Like that's how I would be with New Haven style pizza.
Dang, I was just watching a YouTube video from one of my favorite YouTubers, and he was talking about some sort of white clam pizza or something like that. Is that for real? And is it actually good?
So white clam pizza is for sure like a New Haven thing. Pepe's is like famous for it, and then all the other New Haven spots do it. I don't eat seafood, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I could not
Neither
tell
You
you.
does
don't
Mao.
even know. Oh man,
No,
I was
if
hoping
Yeah,
to finally hear about this.
no. If it swims, I don't eat it. It just that's
Dang.
not
wait, Steven, is this an allergy thing, a moral thing, or just you don't like seafood?
you're doing this to me. It's a phobia thing, actually. I'm just terrified
No
of.
way.
Yeah,
Dang.
I'm just terrified of fish,
Is
and
there is there a name for that phobia?
I don't know if there is. I don't know.
Fishophobia, dude.
Oh my God, Steven, I just remembered. So part of this was like what, your second week at the company. We did a in-person meetup in Dallas.
Yep.
Uh, and well, first off, how was that experience for you? Because I imagine second week on the job, that's got to be pretty different than your other jobs you've done.
Right. Yeah. It was exciting. I mean, I was excited to like finally meet you guys in person, and then my boss, who was previously overseeing the team. It was cool. It was exciting. Dallas is definitely one of the cities in the United States for sure.
That's a
Wow,
great
high
I agree with
appraisal.
that.
Yeah, Dallas is a city. No, but we had fun. It was a good time. It was a good time getting to chat with you guys, get to know you. We did a lot of business talk, but we played a lot of chess. I got my butt beat by Joe many a time. It was fun. It was a good time.
But not
But you're right.
Mauricio.
Like, And Mauricio too. Mauricio is an assassin. That's how he was like billed to me, and he
what I
came
said,
through.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I heard that
He's
your
been on
daily
it.
game's about to turn around.
Yeah, the daily game. What happened with that?
That's
Not
true.
an assassin anymore.
It's not
That's
over
true.
yet.
I did just beat him. I did just beat him this morning on a daily game, and like I was, you know, what's like just like elephant in the room. Like I was so sketched out because he's beaten me so many times. I'm like, he's gonna think I cheated because it's a daily game. Like I just do better when I have like, you know,
You have time.
I could do like the what if board and like all right, if I do this, you can do this, I can do this. And like just really kind of take time with it. Like we played it out over the course of like 2 weeks too. Like it was a really long daily game. So
Well,
I had
Oh, yeah.
maybe none of that matters, and the only game that's gonna matter is this game later in the podcast. We'll see.
True.
It all comes down to this. But my follow-up question from the Dallas trip is: I remember you were saying that you use your left hand for your knife, and I wanted to know if you followed up with your wife, if that was normal behavior or not.
She does not use her left hand for her knife, but she didn't think it was that strange.
Okay.
Man, she just likes you a lot.
That's what it is. I tell her that all the time.
Okay. But I wanted to really quickly circle back to the pizza topic because I'm actually going to Chicago to see Max this weekend. So I have to ask, what city has the better pizza, New Haven or Chicago?
I've never been to Chicago either. However, deep dish pizza is just cake. Like that's cake. Not pizza.
Yeah.
So Chicago, you've never
fine, if
been?
you ask me, but
Yeah.
Chicago is one of the cities of the U.S.
it
See,
is.
there you go.
Hey, I don't think it's one of the cooler cities in the U.S. All right, I think it deserves an adjective. No, but Chicago deep dish, maybe you'll get some, Joe, and you'll realize that it's more of like a soupy mixture.
I've had it. I've been to Chicago before.
What have you for chess tournaments?
Oh man, I used to have family out there. I
wow.
have never been for chess tournament. No, I've been for my friend's bachelor party. And you'll meet him, my friend Garrison.
Oh, yeah, that's hype.
Basically my best friend. But there is the Chicago Open there this weekend, and we're gonna go check that out. We're gonna maybe meet up with Canty, who's a pretty
Cool.
big Michigan player, you know.
Big Michigan guy.
Yeah.
Detroit sports fan. Go Detroit sports.
Yeah, he's just one of many. I mean, I know a ton of college players there. We have a few ambassadors that are going to be playing there, actually. Some ambassadors that we've even had on the podcast. I believe Gabriella's going from St. Louis. I
Yeah,
think
she's playing.
Titus is going to be playing as well. We've some guys from Indiana are going to be traveling to go see that and play. And obviously some of the players from Chicago. I think Steven's going to be there. And even an ambassador, I think, from Northwestern, Dachi, who used to be at UT Austin. But there's also...
Northwestern?
Yeah, he's a grad student now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, makes sense. Yeah, because he graduated from Texas.
Yeah, you should know Max. That's your region.
But he's not an ambassador.
He's
for
not.
Northwestern. No, not for Northwestern.
Well,
he was for Texas.
I mean, I reached out to him anyways. We have an ambassador from Northern Illinois University that's going to be helping us. We have a table at Combo Breaker.
Yeah, Combo Breaker.
What do you know about fighting games, Steven?
Anything?
So I'm a little bit older than you guys. I'm old enough to remember like Street Fighter. I think it was 2 had just come out on Sega Genesis. That was like one of my earliest video games. And I was obsessed with Blanca, like absolutely obsessed with Blanca. I still am obsessed with Street Fighter. Actually, I'm into powerlifting, and on days that I'm doing big lifts, I have Blanca and Dalcine socks, like one of each, and they're like my we're going hard for a deadlift kind of socks. So I love Street Fighter. I love fighting games. Not very good at those either, like I said, unless you give me Blanca. And then big fan of Super Smash Brothers as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've been to a couple fighting conventions, whether it's Smash conventions or this one, and chess has been really well received as a whole there. We've just been setting up boards and people play. You think there's a parallel between fighting games and chess?
Chess is a fighting game.
I mean, chess boxing, right? No. Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised that it resonates with that audience, but I mean, maybe it makes sense. Like a fighting game's a little bit more like button mashing and like I know people are good at it, but there's a lot of luck to it too. I think like you're nailing your timing and all that. So maybe chess is like a nice way to like be a little bit more strategic and slow it down and then get back into like your button mashing. I don't know.
Totally. I went to the big house with Michael Brancato, who's also known as Nintendude, really big
Yeah.
Smash player in the melee sphere. And yeah, everybody who played was telling us that, this is a good break, a good relaxing point to recharge and sort of like take a mental break. Because although chess is a mental game, Smash takes so much energy out of you.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and so this is that's why I think they're very popular at these conventions, these tournaments.
It makes sense. Smash is like has such a I was gonna say cult following, but it's just so much bigger than that. Like Smash's player base is so dedicated to that game. I had a buddy whose boyfriend would exclusively only play Princess Peach. And immediately I was like, well, I'm gonna crush this guy. And you've never had a rougher day than just getting beat by Princess Peach
Nah, dude.
over and over.
Peach
and
is
over.
goated.
Yeah, man. He was great with her, and she's just. I have a whole new respect for Princess Peach.
I think, yeah, no, I'm a Luigi main myself.
Yep.
But I think if I had to switch characters, Peach would be high on my list. Yoshi apparently is getting in there. There's a player called Amsa who just like changed the meta. Like I think that's something that's so amazing about Smash Bros. Melee in particular is that it's a 20-year-old game, and like they've come out with countless tier lists of like which characters are the best, and it's still changing to this day because players are finding new ways to use characters and like counter other players. And I have no idea if you guys follow too much, but like Yoshi with says Yoshi in particular has been like destroying all these different brackets and tournaments. And I think he unfortunately came in second place just like last weekend. There was this tournament called BC5. He lost to some guy named Cody. But anyways,
The regular name.
well, I mean, I don't know his character's full name, but he came from losers bracket, which double elim. It's a fun format that Melee and Ultimate I think use mainly. And
Chess.com a lot.
Brancato has been adopting that format in a lot of chess.com events. So if you see any double elim brackets from chess.com, you know the reason why. It's because of Smash.
Nice.
Dude,
So-
speaking of all the like different players being ranked better or different characters being ranked better, chess is a much older game with way less characters. But the question is the bishop or the knight better, Steven? Which one's better?
So yeah, I've always been taught that like the bishop is better, right? Like if it's like 3 points and 3 points, it's actually like 3.1 points for the bishop is like what I've always heard. However, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, I'm a Levy Rossman fanboy. And he will say that the knight is slightly better, particularly like in the end game because it's a little more slippery. And actually, Mauricio and I were just playing a daily game, and I learned how slippery I almost lost the game because of how slippery a knight could be in the end game. So I'm gonna go hot take and say it's the knight.
I mean, I'm with you. I think it's a knight. I
don't know.
It's obviously the bishop, you guys. It's proven fact.
Exactly. I think if you're 1900, 2000 rated or higher, then it's the bishop. But below that, it's the knight.
Yeah, I cool 1038 to like 1100 average rating would go with the knight for sure. I also am a heavily tattooed individual, and I have a knight chess piece tattoo. So I just like I have a bias there too that I have to disclose.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I know another guy who has some chest tattoos. And Max and I are gonna go see his concert this weekend.
Oh, how about that? I wonder who it could
be. he has all the pieces except for the king.
Nice. Is that
he
like
is the king?
He is the king. That's right.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if like it was aspirational, like like he has a
One
task
day.
he has to knock out first, and then he'll go get the king.
It'd be funny if he had every piece but the knight.
Right.
Steven's
be
got
like the Wonder Twins
and. Yeah. So Steven, what got you into chess and like even looking at chess.com jobs in the first place?
Sure. So I'm gonna go way back. I probably was like 6 years old. My mother worked a lot, so I had a lot of babysitters, and I had one who had like a glass chess set. And I just remember being obsessed with like the glass set. Like the board top was glass and all the pieces were like clear glass or like frosted glass or like white and black. And I would just play with it constantly. And finally she like showed me like what the pieces did. And I knew that. I like remember knowing what the pieces did, but like I didn't know how to play. And then flash forward to being in high school, there's like a group of us who would play during lunch. Like instead of like going and hanging out at lunch or like study hall, we would play chess in the library because we were the cool kids, obviously. And we played a lot. And again, like I don't think anyone was employing like strategy or new openings. Like I'm pretty sure like if you left your king like unprotected and like someone was able to get it with the bishop, you're like, oh, game over, you got checkmated. So like making illegal moves and like for sure didn't 100% have the rules down. But we played a lot, and probably come college, I stopped playing or like stopped trying to play. And like everybody, you know, over the pandemic, Queen's Gambit especially, online chess is blowing up. Pog Champs was happening, especially since I was a big XQC fan. I just started like kind of toying around on chess.com and I play a game here, play a game there, and I signed up, got my diamond subscription. And then that's it. I've been like went from like being interested in chess to being like a chess player probably over like the last 2 or 3 years. It feels like I should be a lot better than I am because of how much I care and how much I want to be good at it. But like I said, and like I think I'm like a 1038 right now. I'm hanging out in Rapid, but yeah. And then as far as finding the job, I actually wasn't looking, but I was on LinkedIn. I'm like a big LinkedIn dork for no reason. And it was advertised. And again, it was like director of field marketing for at chess.com and like with a college vertical. I was like, I can't think of a better background for this. Like I have to apply. And the rest is history, obviously.
That's awesome.
Thanks. So when you were doing the marketing for Sacred Heart and stuff, what did that entail? Were you guys making memes on Twitter pages or
yeah. So the social media team now kind of I don't want to say started underneath me, like reshaped underneath me. And we were like, I guess we like did some memes and stuff. Like I would never say like our social media pages were like known for their memes or had like hot memes. Being like an academic institution, you kind of have to toe that line. But the social media team was more of just kind of like showing off pretty campus. Sacred Heart has a beautiful campus, so there's a lot of like glamour shots on Instagram and that kind of stuff. Our Twitter definitely is probably their Twitter now. Is dying or is already dead. But a lot of what I did was like in the digital advertising space or like the web space, like optimizing web pages, like real super boring stuff. But we were trying to get people to come to the school and get people to stay at the school. So that was like our main charge. Yeah.
And how do you think that experience is going to help you with your current job now with growing the college ambassador program and the collegiate chess league at chess.com?
Oh man, I hope it helps a lot. Obviously, I've spent the last 5 years thinking about how to appeal to college students, and I spent the last 3 years just loving chess, like intensely loving chess and wanting to get better at chess. So being able to merge those two like areas of interest or areas of expertise, depending on which it is pretty awesome. I actually, when I got the job. Again, like shout out to Brent McCreesh at Sacred Heart and Mark Dodona on their chess team as well. I sat down with both of them. I was like, hey, like, what do you guys think of the ambassador program? Like, what cool stuff would you like to see? And like, how can I like kind of take those ideas to the interview process? And it obviously helped because I'm sitting here talking to you guys. So and I teach as well. I've taught in the past at Sacred Heart like an intro freshman class, and in the fall I'll be teaching like a social media marketing class. So like staying close to college students and like what resonates on college campuses and what's interesting to college students. Hopefully that kind of comes through in some of the marketing efforts that we'll be doing and to, you know, grow the ambassador program and just grow chess overall on college campuses.
That's awesome. And so you mentioned talking to Brent and Mark, like, did you know them already or did you look them up and find them?
I didn't know them already. I knew the advisor to their chess club though, because I had a hand in kind of helped like stand up like web pages and like promote events and that kind of stuff early on when the program first started. So I was able to talk to their advisor and kind of tell them a little bit about the opportunity, say, hey, like I'm just looking for some students. And he suggested like I don't want to say like two best as far as like chess players, but like two most active. And I think they're both ambassadors. I know Brent is for sure. I think Mark is also an ambassador. So he linked us up.
I think they're also definitely their best players. Sacred Heart has one of the most unique team compositions in the league where their top 2 players are basically national masters, and then their bottom 2 players are like 1,000 or below.
Yeah, I know Mark for sure is a national master. I think Brent's like 1900 or something, but he might be too.
Well, I mean, his chess.com is definitely higher than mine. It's like, I think he hit 2,300 at one point.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was able to meet them at Pan Am's, which was a really fun experience for us. And I think we'll probably get you out to the next one, Steven. It's going to be in Southern Texas, so not quite Dallas, but close enough.
Oh
right?
Man, I would love to go back to Dallas.
Dallas, one of those. Yeah, I love Dallas because it was there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm hoping like in this role and being able to be around like all these phenomenal chess players, like I just take it in by osmosis and just get better. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm hoping.
Max and I know very well that's not how.
Yeah,
not how
it
it
happening,
happens.
brother. We're trying out here, man.
Yeah. Fighting for my life.
I think my rating has since decreased since getting hired by chess.com.
I've lost 200 points. I don't know.
What's happening to us, guys?
I don't know.
Dude, for the Steven, for the Sacred Heart Chess Club, and I guess for all chess clubs, was there anything about the chess club that you noticed when looking for it, or just when meeting with the guys, that they did really well, or you wish they did really well, that we should implement for all clubs or something like that? I've one of our missions, right, is to make all the chess clubs, all the universities a bit better, and I'd love to hear what you think maybe is at the forefront of that.
Yeah, what I think is awesome about Sacred Hearts Club in particular is they actually got themselves on their club sports like microsite. So like if you go and like check out like their athletics, like they like chess is like a part of like the sports section, like it's an athletics, which makes it one like just very easy to find if you're like searching around on the site. I think something I found with some schools, like big schools where I know there has to be a chess club, like I've had a hard time finding it on the site to learn a little bit more. I think Sacred Heart did a good job of positioning like their club as like, hey, this is legitimate. We're a club sport. We compete and we win. It just gives it some, some legitimacy and some credence.
Yeah, for sure. And I echo that there are definitely clubs out there that are from big schools hidden somewhere deep on some site. And a lot of places have it on their Connect page, which is usually associated with the mascot of the school.
Right.
So at Michigan State, it would be called Spartan Connect. And that's hard for SEO, right? If you're trying to find the Michigan State Chess Club, they're hidden underneath this Spartan Connect. So, yeah, I think, being able to find the club easily online, and like you said, you were helped building websites. I think that if every chess club could really be easily found, and I mean, athletics are the easiest thing to find, honestly. So
yeah, like ambassadors should find their webmaster, whoever it is, and like work a way to get chess to be more present on the website, because people are looking for it for sure, especially right now when chess is just like an absolute boom and more popular than it's ever been, and there's memes and streamers and just like this amazing cultural movement happening right now. People are definitely looking for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of mascots, I heard your mascot was the owl.
That was my undergrad. That was for
undergrad.
Yeah. For undergrad, I was at Southern Connecticut State University. I did not have much of a college experience. I commuted 15 minutes down the road, but we were I guess actually we had just rebranded to the Owls. Like the year prior, they were the Fighting Owls, and to be like more pasty or a little softer, I guess. They were just they chilled out quite a bit. They were just the Owls. But I besides working at Sacred Heart, I also just received my MBA from them, and they're the Pioneers, which is like also kind of a like big smiling happy mascot. Like I never had a cool mascot like the Spartans or anything like that. Always these soft guys.
There's a high school in Ann Arbor that is the Ann Arbor Pioneers.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Pioneers.
Pioneers. Yep.
Mauricio, what was your mascot?
We were the Huskies, which was cool and all, but Northeastern lacked a football team, so it wasn't that cool. There was no place to really go cheer for the Huskies.
They weren't doing no chess competitions with cheerleaders.
I wish, man. That's the next step. That's our mission, part 2.
Wait, so Steven, do you know if your undergrad has a chess club?
I don't know if Southern has a chess club. I feel like I would have found it. Like I said, I had been playing. We thought we had been playing a lot of chess in high school, and I think I would have been interested enough. And I didn't do a lot on campus, and I was like definitely looking for more ways to be involved. I probably would have joined if I knew about it. I don't know if Southern has one.
Well, we got to find out.
Yeah, I don't know if they did in 2010 at least.
Well, we've been thinking of this new idea recently of an alumni program and starting alumni clubs. So, I mean, you're an alumni at two schools, and you're obviously well connected with Sacred Heart. Maybe we can help start that there. And I don't know when Brent or Mark are gonna graduate, but I'm sure they would definitely be involved in that in some capacity.
Mark should be a sophomore now, and Brent should be going into his junior year. So we have a little time with them. But I am in the Sacred Heart Chess Club on chess.com, and I am now officially an alum. So I need a new home. I need somewhere else to be. Otherwise, I'm a fraud.
Well, yeah, and then Mauricio's got to join for the Huskies, and Max will be a Spartan once more. I'll be a Bruin as always.
Bruin. Always a Bruin.
I think like maybe it was last week or something. Someone pointed out that on the stream it still says Joe Bruin instead of my real last name, Joe Lee. So I was like, yeah, I should change that. But it's crazy. So many people just know me as Joe Bruin. There's still a lot of people out there that think my last name is Bruin.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know UCLA's mascot was the Bruin. So I kept seeing you as Joe Bruin all over the place, and I thought like maybe you went by your middle name, like Joe Lee was actually like Joe Lee Bruin or like Joe Bruin Lee. I wasn't sure, and until actually at the meetup we were talking about the Bruin being the mascot. I was like, oh, it makes sense now.
Yeah. Other people think I'm from Boston and I'm a Bruins fan.
Right.
But luckily the Florida Panthers beat them
quickly. And now they're in the Stanley Cup Finals.
True.
I'm not sure how they did it.
They did. They swept the Carolina Hurricanes. It's crazy.
Multiple overtime.
And there's a game tonight between Vegas and Dallas, actually, who, when we were there, they beat Seattle Game 7, unfortunately. But looks like Dallas is about to get swept. So, I don't know. I know Mauricio's a huge Florida fan, and the Heat are doing well too, right?
In basketball, yeah.
That's right. This might be the first year that the Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers win both their respective tournaments. I don't think the Panthers have ever won a championship. I'm not sure. You guys would know better than I would.
The last time the Panthers were in the finals was 1996, the year of my birth.
Wow.
And they did not win the ship.
No.
No, they did not. Well, you're lucky. You're living a nice life over there in South Florida. Us Detroit sports fans have a much more impoverished life. We're not even in the playoffs, let alone competing like this.
And
but speaking of competing,
yeah, we got this chess game coming up between Mauricio, the traditional podcast match.
Mauricio versus the guest. Maybe I'll get in some action after.
We're gonna welcome Steven in with a friendly chess game.
Before we get into it, I want to circle back to Southern Connecticut State University. I looked up whether they have a chess club, and they have a checkers/chess club. Not quite a chess club, but a checkers.
Is that allowed?
No. I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize on behalf of Southern Connecticut on that one. That's an L in my book.
That's an L. It is kind of an L, to be fair.
Wait, they have a checkers club?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna start a prediction in the chat to see who's gonna win this match. Are you doing it, Max? Offer a draw option as well.
Draw, okay.
There's gonna be 3 options. I don't know how many people are in chat. If we still have UCLA hanging around, maybe. So Braining is from Florida, right, Mauricio?
That's right.
Your fellow.
That's
Floridian.
right. That boy's getting merch very soon. In fact, if I win this game, that boy's getting double merch.
Double. Dude, wait, but Steven's also from the East Coast, right?
That's true.
So
that's true.
We got too many East Coasters here. Luckily, UCLA chess was in chat. So where's the Central region, Max?
Where's the central region? That's a good question. We're looking for them in chat. They all just finished school and they're back home chilling.
Okay, so are you guys gonna do what, a 5-minute game?
It looks like Mauricio has a lot of the bets right now.
All points.
No, it's a safe bet. That's a safe bet.
Hold on. I gotta.
Steven, you can vote too if you want to make a prediction. You can too. You got about a minute.
You can bet on yourself. Hold on,
You
I'll
can
put
bet on
some. I'll
yourself,
put
you
some
can bet on a
points
draw.
on Fabrizi.
Predict.
Fabrizi, dude, what a slick and nice name. Any connection? Is that Italian? What is that?
That is very Italian, and more specific than that, it's very Sicilian. We're
Sicilian.
just 2 generations away from Sicily.
You gotta
You've
play
gotta-
the Sicilian now, right?
Yeah, right. You don't,
You would think I know it based off of that, but I have no idea.
dude. So have you seen any family out there, or it's too long gone now?
Yeah, I don't know that we have any like direct lineage because it would have been 1918 that like my family came over. So like I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't done
long
the
time
work,
ago.
like, legwork to find like who our family would be over there. But yeah.
Yeah, and this kind of brings my follow-up question, which is, why does this town on the coast of Connecticut have elite level pizza?
Yeah, so there's like a lot about that, right? Like some people say it's the water, some people say it's like the thin crust. Like they do the brick oven to get like the real crispy thin crust. I've heard all sorts of crazy reasons as to like why New Haven pizza specifically is so good. I don't know. I think like somebody just got it right down here, and then there's like a bunch of like lookalikes, and there's just something
Yeah.
about it.
Well, it's not. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, because you wouldn't think like, oh yeah, the huge Italian population of New Haven. That
Yeah.
leads-
Well, there is a big Italian population in New Haven. That's true though.
yeah, I mean, well, same with New York and other places, I guess.
I have a hot take, but I don't know if Italian pizza is all that good. I prefer like Detroit style pizza,
Detroit style.
or even like chain pizza. Like I like Papa John's pizza.
Oh
Over it.
no. Honestly,
Nah, you're
Floridians have some of the worst pizza I've ever had in my life. So that makes sense. That like
For real, that's a fact.
that makes sense.
I don't know.
Domino's would be like a respite for you to find like good pizza. Like that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I bet
No, I don't
with
like Domino's.
what Florida's lacking in pizza, I'm sure they make up for in Cuban food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
probably.
actually don't know a lot of Cuban spots.
Mauricio
I
does
know a lot
well.
of Indian spots, a lot of like Asian food. There's not a lot of Mexican food out there, though. I'll tell you that. Not
In
a lot of
Chicago.
Mexican food.
It's in Chicago.
Well, looks like Mauricio or Max got his Central Coast
Yeah,
ambassador
Steven
chat.
pulled up for me.
So we've got ambassador ripping every coast now.
Nice.
All
I
3
always miss
coasts of
this.
the U.S.
Let's see it then.
But okay, are you guys ready for this match? I think the bets
Let's
are
go.
in.
All right,
You're on chess.com.
I'm sending it to you.
Central Coast.
Central
best.
Coast, Best Coast. That's what I love to hear.
That's what they say.
That's what we say. Because the West and the East, they think, oh, we get to border the ocean, so we have monopoly over the word coast. Like, nice
Oh,
try.
I did not want the black pieces.
Off to a rough start
black
for
pieces.
Fabrizi. He's playing a Caro Khan instead of his homeland Sicilian.
Sicilian. The Carl Khan is an opening that I've also been looking into as of late.
Yeah, what you thinking about it, Max?
I'm thinking about playing it.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
thinking
just
about
thinking about
playing
it.
This is exactly our daily game so far.
That is the initial thought process.
really?
I remember this move. Yep, because you blocked the knight.
Is it
Okay,
Carl
so
or a
following,
bad French.
you're walking right into Steven's prep, Mauricio.
This is Steven's prep, and that's scary. I mean, look, I'm either playing the Caro or playing the Sicilian. I just got to choose one. But it ain't the French, Steven. Should I choose the French instead? Have I made a mistake?
I think for beginners, maybe French might be easier than Caro Khan. I'm not sure.
You think so? I know Anna Rudolph likes the French a lot, and I tried it like once or twice, and I couldn't.
You know who's a big proponent of the French defense?
Who?
She's a big streamer besides Anna Rudolph.
I don't know. Anna Cramling.
I think that's free.
The
Anushka.
Botez.
Oh,
The Botez
Alexander
sisters,
Botez. She's a huge French player.
Really? She plays French.
That was like all she played. That's like her bread and butter. That's her main line.
Well, those are all synonyms, so yes.
Yep.
I don't,
If anything, I'm gonna flag. If anything.
Now, plenty of
don't
time left in
flag.
this game.
Oh,
In fact,
man, 5 minutes.
you're up in time, Steven.
You are up on time.
But
And
don't
if-
let that fool you.
And remember, if you beat him on the board before the time runs out, then the time never mattered.
That's true.
So, this is coming from a guy that never flags.
I didn't see that.
You are up a pawn though, Steven.
That's true.
You got Mauricio right where you want him.
Right where you want him. That's debatable, but
The more quiet he is, the more nervous he gets.
he's getting nervous for sure. But, we can't. You know that he doesn't love the commentary, so
Keep going.
Yeah, we gotta, make sure that Mauricio keeps thinking.
looks like we've taken here.
But
now
yeah, I
you're
mean,
gonna-
Steven's deep in thought as well.
Joe, what do you think about seeing Logic in concert this weekend?
It's gonna be a fun time. I think you guys are gonna enjoy it a lot. We got, the backstage pass.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. So
Dang, that's so cool. Well, this is my first time going to a show like this. I've only been to 2 or 3 concerts in my whole life, so
maybe I'll
What?
bring out a chess set for you guys to play a quick one.
I'm down, dude. I could bring my chess set.
Wow.
I have it here. The chess
Max will never play chess, but maybe a game against Logic, maybe.
Hey, against Logic, dude, come on, son.
No, I don't know if he'll have time for that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I doubt he's time. He should probably focus on performing. But yeah, Steven, I actually have not really. I've never been to a concert on my own volition.
Wow.
I don't think.
I go to many a year. I'm actually going to a music festival this weekend.
Steven
That's
plays
hype.
in concerts.
That's
Maybe
one
said-
thing to call it.
No, yeah, there's no. Don't embarrass him. Yeah, well, I really have always just, I'm just not. I don't listen to that much music in that way, I guess, which is weird. It's cool. You can roast me. But this will be a fun one. It's a bit more of an intimate venue here in Chicago, so it'll be cool to be in a smaller
Aragon
crowd.
Theater.
Aragon Ballroom, I think it's
Ball-
called.
Aragon Ballroom.
Yeah,
Because we're going to be balling out, right?
yeah.
Or we're going to be having a ball.
Nice.
I don't know.
We're gonna be having a ball. You know
Anyways,
who's having a ball?
Steven's King is
Stephen
having a
King.
ball.
Yeah,
He's
this is
running
over.
around.
This is over.
We're not
He is
distracting
running
Mauricio
around
enough.
right now.
Uh-oh.
Mauricio, I give you a challenge to deliver pawn checkmate.
You've been challenged.
Can you deliver pawn checkmate? Or will Stephen's King run to freedom?
This is it, man. I think he's got. I think
Maybe a few
rook
checkmates.
E4.
Oh,
Okay.
there's the pawn
Rook
mate.
E4 would have been mate too, no?
Your pawn could take on e4.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
There
Um,
it
so
is.
GG as usual.
GG.
man, Mauricio just needs
This is my
to.
first win on a on a podcast, I think.
This is how you welcome your new employee.
I know it.
I know.
We'll talk about that in your.
Your performance
annual
review. You'll remember this.
So Joe, you gotta give everyone their points.
You can do
I
that
can't-
too.
I can't.
Oh, did you
because I
bet?
voted in it. Yeah.
You voted. Who'd you vote for?
Mauricio.
Oh my goodness. That's dude, Steven, you gotta remember that in Max's review too.
Exactly.
I was the only one to bet on you, man.
And
To
you
be
put
fair-
100 channel points on there. Okay? Don't
be
talk a
fair-
big game here.
I voted for Mauricio too.
What? Dude, you're saying the match is rigged?
The match was
There it
rigged.
is. Yeah.
You're winning my channel points? All right. Well, I'll remember that in your review, Stevens.
I'll remember it in my own as well.
I need to get you some more lessons to take down Mauricio one of these days.
Dude, I would love it. Yeah, I would love to learn more about openings and then especially just like middle game strategy. Like I always think I calculate out something like I'll definitely end up in material on this one, and like I either will and I'll have a losing position, or I'll just like somehow be down 3 like after all the trades are done and just miss it. So I would love to. Yeah, I'd love to get better and better and better. That's the goal.
Well, in our one-on-ones, we'll definitely do some coaching in that regard. We'll go over this game after this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want to find I know there's like a move there where it all went south because I was feeling good. So
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you here, and we're so
Likewise.
excited to have you, continue to work with us and see how far we can take college chess to the next level. So
definitely.
we've got some huge changes coming up to our ambassador program that we will be announcing shortly. And looks like Braining's going to get twice as much merch now because of Mauricio. So congrats to them. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. We're going to send you off on a raid. But for now, take care. And be sure to tune in next week to see who our next guest will be. But yeah.
Thanks for coming, Steven.
All right. Thank you guys. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you all later. Take care.